Okay, the first part of this is sped up super quick. Okay, I'm going through super quickly and showing you some different ways that I'm trying to use mica powders to see what works, what doesn't, what fails, basically to save you and your product. So the first thing I'm trying is a couple of different colours of cardstock, and I've embossed them. They're just leftover scraps from wherever. Okay, so obviously the Versamark ink pad, I just smushed it onto it and sort of went down that path. Sat that to the side. Now, everything that I do, stick around for the last half of the video because I actually do that live and show you the results. Okay, so here I'm giving it a bit of a crack to see if I can make a gold spray, basically. And it sprays, it looks fantastic. Yeah, epic fail. Don't stop the video here and think, I'm going to do that. Wait till the end. Okay, so this one's Glossy Accents. And I'm just using different colours just purely to jazz it up, I suppose. So this is white gesso, and I added some colour to that. Now I'm just smushing these on 80-pound cardstock. That's what I'm using for all of this. There's no prep on any of it. This is Finnabair clear gesso, and I was shocked at the result on that, and I don't know why I was so shocked, but stick around for the result of that. Okay, this one was Mod Podge. Now, I was unsure how this was going to work. My Mod Podge is pretty old. I've had it for a long time, and it was quite runny, but I remember it always being quite runny, but that's okay. So what I decided to do, I ended up putting heaps in there, and I thought, well, I'm not going to waste it. So I just did a couple of layers on there, and it looked, you could really see the shine when I first put it on there. I thought, wow, that looks really good. The next thing that I do, what was the next one? Oh, watch this. This is hilarious. I get it already, and oh, my clear medium, it was dead, rock hard. So here I'm using texture paste. So I mixed in some yellow and I put it through a stencil, you know, something simple. It's not perfect. I wasn't trying to be perfect. But yeah, I just wanted to see what the mica powder did in different mediums. That's pretty much what I'm doing through this whole thing. Okay, this is silicone glue. This is the glue that I use when I make my trays and storage containers. This stuff sets up so hard. It's amazing. How cool does that look? Gunmetal grey, metallic silver, whatever you want to call it. And it went on so smoothly, and it kept its structure. Absolutely love it. Stick around for the end of that to see the end result with that. That was actually really good. Okay, this is where I'm using cheap paint. So this was just cheap kids poster paint. So the white's not very opaque, so I thought, you know, see how this travels. Mixed a bit in, a couple of different colours. The brown has gold in it, and it's really good. Okay, clear glue, here we go. This, I ended up switching from using the palette all the time to using my clear. It's actually just rubbish. You know, we all do it. We all use it. Okay, this, oh, look how fast. Imagine if I painted that fast in real life. Wouldn't that be awesome? We'd get things done so quickly. So this is just clear glue. It's just like your craft school glue. That's all it is. And I just mixed it with the mica powder Now my mica powders that I'm using, I bought 40 of them from Craft Online. This is another clear glue. This is clear tacky glue. I got this glue from King Kong's, which is a $2 shop here in Australia. And why am I putting this on here? I wanted to see, obviously I wouldn't do this on a page or whatever. I'd look like a tosser. But I wanted to see what the powder reflection looked like once it was on a textured piece of cardstock. This is my art glitter glue. Now it's really cold here in Australia at the moment, so it didn't take very long for it to set up. So what am I using here? That was, oh, I didn't see it right at the very beginning. Damn it. Okay, it's gone. I have to just let it go. But there was another little something there that I can't remember it. Okay, so with the art glitter glue, I just brushed over the top of it while it was tacky. I stuffed around a little bit, so only the very tips were still tacky. So, but that worked. That worked. So here I come in with some, I wanted to try using my makeup sponge. I use these for gluing on the back of, doilies or something like that. I use the makeup sponge. So I thought, hey, give it a go, see what it looks like. What else did I do? So, back with the silicone glue. That's right. I wanted to try something slightly different. Now, silicone glue, a couple of drops of alcohol ink, a little bit of mica powder. Wowza, check that out. This is actually, my daughter was helping me with this, and she actually liked this the most. I had to ditch that because it just made it really super stringy, but that worked so well. However, I didn't clean my stencil straight away, and I think I've wrecked it, but that's okay. All right, so here I'm using some tacky glue. This is the Aleene's tacky glue, which I love. I used it for ages. I wanted to see what it would be like if I used a bit of water-based ink. So I used the water-based ink from my Aldi pens that I got the other day, a little bit of mica powder, and did you see how that curled up straight away? I thought I'd put a bit on vellum, see what it did. That actually worked out really, really well. So now I've refreshed my memory. At the end where I say I can't remember what I used, it was the Aleene's tacky glue. All right, here's the boo-boo. Check this out. Don't do this. It is alcohol ink mixed with Glossy Accents. No, don't do it. The alcohol ink literally separated the Glossy Accents, and you couldn't do anything with it. So save your money. Use my experience. I was trying to do here, so I added the ink, I added the clear glue, and I wanted to sort of see if I could do lines, do some sort of pattern, and didn't really work, so I just smushed it on. That was okay. Now here is something that I wanted to give a try, because this is my $4 Kmart water palette that I bought just the other day, and it's got a lot of pigment in it. So I thought, I wonder if these mica powders, I wonder if I could mix them together and see if it'll work. And I was unbelievably surprised. It was so good. So you can see, obviously what you're looking at the moment is wet. So I just do a little bit of paint, and next to it I mix the paint with the mica powder, and it worked so well. So well. I didn't need to mix any other mixative. I did find that the yellow, because my brush was pretty much dry, there wasn't much paint mixed in with the last bit of the yellow, so it was a bit chalky, and I did get a little bit on my fingers. But that being said, look at the colour, and you literally have got a $4 palette with the mica powders. You've then got metallic paint, so you know, I mean, that's bang for buck. I was really happy with that. The red looks like it's actually more of a candy apple red, but it turned out really good. I was really, really happy with that. So now I'm going to switch over to the results, and I'm going to stop talking. I'll chat to you later. Bye. Okay, now, after fast forwarding all that, so you can see exactly what I did with all of these, now I want to, this is the next day, so I've let everything dry properly right through to see what the results are actually, where we got with the results. So this will sound a little bit different because I'm using the microphone on my camcorder versus my usual microphone. It's connected through my computer. Alright, let's not muck around, straight up. Results. So this, I'll stand up so you can see. This is the mica powder added to the water, just like that, swirl it around and sprayed. Yes, you get a nice, beautiful mica spray. Perfect, not a problem. But it comes off on your hand. Why? I've since done some research overnight, and you need to, I'm going to try it again using alcohol and glycerin in the water, because the mica powder needs something to bind. It needs a binding agent, and that's where I failed with that. So don't make my mistake. Don't waste your mica powder. I will redo that one at another point, and I'll do and let you know how I go with that. So I'm just going to pop that one straight in the bin because, well, gold everywhere. Okay, next one off the train. So this one was the blue mica powder with the blue ink. So it had the blue ink in it, and it was the clear glue. So it was, I'm pretty sure it was this glue. No, it was this glue. It was the cheap clear glue. I think I got this one from maybe Spotlight. I know it was dirt cheap because my kids use it for making slime. So dirt cheap. Okay, initially, so on this piece here, you can see you get a shimmer. It's not too bad. You get a bit of a shimmer to it. It's okay. I did this on some tracing paper just to see how bad it would warp and if you would get the shine. And you do get the shine if you scrunch it up. Just have a play. Haven't done this. This is literally on the camera. So if you scrunch it up, it doesn't come off. So nothing's coming off because it's got that binding agent. So like that actually looks pretty cute. That's something you could actually use that. Tears fine. I'm not, to be honest, that's not a fail for me. That was really like a super uber thin coat. So because I didn't know, it did make the whole paper thing curl up, which I think you saw. But this is the one that I loved the most. This was 2 coats. So you can see there's 1 coat. And then because I still had some on the palette thing, I went over it again. So 2 coats of the cheap clear glue with 2 drops of the alcohol ink. And no, it wasn't the alcohol ink. I told a big fat lie. It wasn't an alcohol ink. It was the watercolor ink. because by this point I had figured out something was going wrong. So this is the watercolor ink brush markers that I got from Aldi that I have. If you want to see how they are, they're in another video under a product review. It was this blue and the glue with the blue mica powder, and I'm happy with that. That's a great result. That is definitely a technique I will use and nothing comes off, which is what you want. Okay, so that's a winner. This one here, this was poster paint. So I grabbed the cheapest paint I own, which is poster paint, and it's just the Montmart. Cost me $3.99 for, I think it's half a litre. Yep, half a litre. And 500 ml, or if you're in the US, 16.91 fluid ounces. I don't know, just that's what it is. That's what it says on the pot. So I used that, and I just added a little bit of mica powder. Now, you can see the shine in the brown one. You can see it. You really, this colour, this turquoisey colour, which was this colour, I'm not seeing much shine there. No payoff on that one, but the bronzy coloured one, which was this one, you actually can see there is a little bit, I think it's the gold fleck you can see. Not the, I wouldn't do it again. It's a waste of powder and it's a waste of paint. The paint was cheap, but it was a waste. Okay, so this one here, what I was doing with this one was I had used Tacky Pva Glue. So that's this one. Now, this is clear Tacky PVA. So I don't know, it's just clear. Look, I'll be honest, I actually don't use this glue on anything. It's just still sitting there for when the kids want to make slime again. It's not my favourite glue in the world. However, results when you add some mica powder to it, bazinga, check that out for shine. That is awesome, absolutely awesome. Obviously doesn't come off. It's made it very, very opaque. There's no paint in this one. This one is, and I went over this one to show you, so I embossed, if you can see, okay, so hang on, if I do that, so you can see that I've embossed the folder, and it's a really good emboss too. It was like really high. So I just painted over it to see if you could make a different kind of look, maybe for a card or something, but I wasn't a fan. Like, it worked, it totally worked. Different colour, different embossing maybe, I'm not sure, but it worked, it stayed on, it did great. Okay, and this was the same glue, same everything, but I just did it on white cardstock. So again, it's winning. Like, I mean, look at that. That is some serious shine payoff. And that's what you want. When you're spending money on your products, you want the payoff. You want the shine. If it's something shiny that you want, that's the payoff you want. Okay, so this was Tacky Clear. So what I actually attempted to do with this was I just used my cheap makeup sponges, which is what I use when I want to put glue over the back of like a doily or something like that. These are what I use. These are like $2 from Kmart. They're so cheap. So I use those, and then once I've used them, I don't even have one here. I'll stick my head in front of the camera. I just cut the end off and then keep using it. So that's what I used through a stamp, through a stencil. Now, you can see that it did go through, not a problem. It worked, it went through the stencil. It's not crisp, like it's not a perfect crisp stencil. You can see that it's not perfect. It's shine. If it's a subtle detail you want in the background, I would say that it would definitely give you that. That is the Tacky Clear. So that was that one again. Personally, it's a down for me. Nah, pass. Hard pass. Okay, this one. Sorry, I'll try and speed it up a little bit. So this one is the clear glue. So this was this glue. This was this one. Okay. I did this one slightly differently. So I went over the embossing. So I just painted over it. Like I wasn't trying to, you know, paint in between or anything like that. I just painted over the top to see if it would get the embossing to stand out more. And I think it does. You can see there versus there. So that payoff worked. On the black, yeah, it works, but not really a fan on the black. You'd have to do a couple of coats. So wasn't really a fan of that one. And this was just the clear glue, the same, with a different colour. On this one was actually that powder. So it's more of like I thought it was like a watermelon, but it's more like a, now it's dried. Look, let's be honest. Everyone loves a bit of shine, right? So, next off the bandwagon, silicone glue. Mate, this is your bang for buck. If there's going to be a cheap, if you want a cheap way of getting your mica powders through a stencil or something like that, and you want it to stay on there, you don't want the glitter coming off anywhere, silicone glue. This is actually the glue that I bought from, now I get this from Craft Online and it's only like $2.99 a bottle, and it's the same glue that I use to put all my boxes together, and it is rock solid. The same glue, literally that, mix it with a bit of mica powder, and it is the bomb.com. That's what you want. Now I'm going to actually do something here and see what it's like. If you, I mean, we don't do this to our pages obviously, but I just want to see what it will do under distress. It's actually doing, like, that's solid. That's a solid A+. So far, if there was something I desperately wanted results with, I would go the silicone glue with the mica powder. At this point, that's what I would go with, right? So that one is the clear winner at this point. I've still got everything sitting in front of me. I haven't cleaned it up because I wanted to remember what everything was. Okay, these two. I used the Versamark and I just brushed the powder over the top. Do I like it? No, I don't. Why do I not like it? It's still tacky. It's still tacky, and look at my fingers. It's coming off. The Versamark is not a goer. Does not work. Well, it works, but do you want that coming off on your stuff? No, you don't. So Versamark is great for embossing. However, let's give it a hard pass when it comes to doing that. If you've done it and you've created, sorry, I'm just getting this off my fingers. If you've done it and succeeded, let me know how you did it, because that was not a goer. Okay, this is with white gesso. I just wanted to try it to see what it would do. I literally mixed a bit of gesso with it, and I think we can all agree that's a fail. Don't do that. It's not going to work. Here is the holy grail. Check out that colour. What? Are you kidding me? Excuse me. That is the best result out of all of it. And it is Glossy Accents. Okay, I do have a bit. My daughter made me laugh. She's like, Mum, they're going to think you just bought the little tiny bottle. I've recently just bought a new bottle, so that's why I was using this very, very liberally. Okay, so all I did, squirted some of this on there, added a bit. You saw it in the video, swiped it out, and holy Moses, check it out. That is, if I'm going to use it on anything, the two things at this point that I would use is that or that. That is 1,000 times cheaper, but that has gloss to die for. That is amazing. That is the best. I love it. Now, that said, check that out. This puppy, now I layered this on. If you watch the video, I actually put, I think this is 2, maybe 3 coats, purely because I was using it up because it was on my thing. I wasn't going to waste it. So I just put it all on. That is Mod Podge. That is the most, that is beautiful. 1, you get the shine payoff. 2, doesn't come off at all. It is, I'm just going to mess with it to see if I can get it to crack or whatever. Not a chance. That is not cracking. That is not doing anything. That is literally holding its own. So if there's something, I know there's a lot of people out there that love glitter, love shine, but hate the mess. Here's your answer. That one, the other one. I'll find it in a minute. Those two at the moment. Silicone glue. Where did I put the silicone glue? There. That one. So far, those 3 are clear winners. This one is clear gesso. Now, I don't know why, but I thought the clear gesso would dry clear and kind of, I guess, give me some sort of, something like that. Maybe not glossy, but clear. Check it out. It didn't. Total fail. Don't waste your clear gesso, people. That was the Finnabair Art Basics Clear Gesso. And look at the result. That is not what I expected. So don't try and use your clear gesso with mica powder. Doesn't work. This one here was the modelling paste. So that's the modelling paste I used. And yes, it's a beautiful little fairy and all of that. But guess what? You got no shine, no shimmer, no nothing. It is literally, if you wanted that fairy to have fairy dust on her wings, you have to paint it on afterwards with some glue or something so it doesn't. That was a fail. Don't do that one. Waste of money. This one, you've actually seen me do this on some of my videos. I haven't even dusted it off properly. This is Art Glitter Glue. If you want to put some, okay, hang on. That's my really dodgy bottle. Hang on, I'll get a bottle that you can actually see. So that's the glue that I use, that I love. This is my all-time favourite, bestest glue ever. I just did some fine lines, waited for it to go tacky. You can see the lines there. And then I only did super, super fine lines, okay? And you can see, let me see if I can get it to, it's hard to get the right light. So you can see it sticks to it. I just can't get the fine lines to, oh, there you go, you can see a little bit. So obviously where it's thicker, it sticks better and you can see the colour. So it does work depending on what your application is. The glue is not really designed to do that, but you know, it works. So I would possibly do that again in the future. This one, what was this one? This was, darn it. This was, I think this was just the white acrylic paint. I think that's what this was. I didn't write it on there. Damn. Okay, I think that's what it was, because I remember saying, I bet you this one won't work, and it didn't. There's no mica shimmer whatsoever. So, yeah, that's a paint, because see, it's not crumbling or anything. Yeah. So that one, the white acrylic paint, don't do that. This one, again, this one was the silicone glue. So it was this glue here that now has a lid coming off it. So it was the silicone glue plus ink, which was the, I used the alcohol ink on this one. Because that was, okay, so I will explain a huge fail on my part. So this is the, I'll do it like that, 24 pigment inks that I bought that I had to play with that, oh my goodness, these things are so messy. So I added a couple of drops of this. I added the alcohol silicone glue. So the reason this is silicone glue is because it has an alcohol base and it evaporates and you can roll it off. It's not a water-based glue, right? So that worked with that. Not a problem. Then I added some mica to it. I put it through a stencil and it's given me a raised up feel through the stencil. You've got all the shine, all the shimmer, you've got the whole 9 yards. Now, let me explain something that I did that was a fail, but I'll let you know why it failed. I used the Glossy Accents because I wanted to try and recreate that green one. So I wanted to try and do this, but I wanted it to see if I could put it through a stencil or something like that to try and get a different result, because the Glossy Accents is so easy to work with. So what I ended up doing, on my piece of plastic, I put down a good squirt of Glossy Accents, and then I put a couple of drops of the pigment ink. Don't do it. Don't waste your money. Don't waste your product. This is an alcohol-based ink. This is water-based, I think. I'm pretty sure that's where the problem was. Liquid flow, la, 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 la. Doesn't say what it is, but acid-free, non-toxic. Clear dimensional medium. It doesn't say that it's water-based, but I know I clean it up with water, like, and wet ones and all that sort of jazz. So what it did, as soon as I added the alcohol to it, it totally split the product and it just turned into literally like water. So there was no way you could even use the product. It was terrible. I threw it straight in the bin because I also feared that I had created a monster. I was like, oh, don't know what that's going to happen. And I had a massive headache afterwards. So don't do that. This is for all the people that love my cheapo watercolour paint set from Kmart. $3.50 or $4 it cost me. So what I did is I thought, now how can I make that watercolour set and these mica powders work together to come together to give me basically double the palette. So what I did is I just added some colour. This one is like a bright lime green. I added some mica powder to it. Perfect. Not a problem. That's still a bit of stain from before. The purple, and then you get the purple mica in it. And this actually comes across quite pink, but it's a red and that watermelon colour. When you mix the two together, what comes off is nearly, okay, for some reason, this yellow doesn't seem to matter what I mix it with, it comes off. Could be just because I bought cheap ones, I don't know. See, the orange doesn't come off. I think I just diluted it too much or something. But all the watercolours, you can add the mica powder to them and bingo, you've got yourself pearlescent watercolour. So I am going to investigate a little bit further. I will let you know down the track on my Facebook page when I establish exactly what went wrong with the Glossy Accents. But my top 3 for payoff and shine out of everything that I used, it would be the silicone glue, the Glossy Accents and the Mod Podge. They would be my 3 favourites. So thank you so much for watching. I'll stop rabbiting on now, and thank you so very much, and I will chat to you again soon. Thanks guys. Bye.